Hey, what's up guys and gals, my name is Rick9G, thank you so much for joining me today. We're going to be talking about the Munsters. If you're a big fan of the Munsters, don't forget to check out my Munsters playlist for more videos just like this. Today we're going to be talking about Eddie Munster and specifically how it's even possible for him to be a werewolf. And we'll get into that question a little bit deeper and why that's even a mystery and a possible answer, what I think is actually an answer to this riddle that many have who are fans of the show. Let's get right to it guys and gals. Well, first of all, let's begin with the Munster family. I know some people are aware, but maybe some aren't. I love to make sure we're always on the same page. Let's start with the father of the family, Herman Munster. He is of course a Frankenstein monster and he's married to his wife Lily Munster, who is a vampira or the son of Dracula. So who would she be? Of course, a vampire type character. Then there's Marilyn Munster, who's very interesting. We'll get into her in just a little bit. What you need to know about her, of course, is that she looks different to everyone else. She's the weird one, quote unquote, and everyone else is the normal part of the family. We have Count Dracula, of course, or Grandpa, as he's more commonly known on the show. He's of course Dracula. And then we have little Eddie Munster. He's the son of Herman and Lily. Now what I mentioned here is that, well, he is the son of a Frankenstein monster and as well as a vampiric or a vampire type woman. And how does he come out? A werewolf. And many people ask, how is that possible? That doesn't even make sense. And to me, there's very simple explanations into this. When you dive into the show like I like to do, then you start to connect the dots and see a lot of cool tidbits that many probably wouldn't connect. And what you have to do is go to season 1, episode 15. That episode is called Herman's Rival, and you'll get a great answer as to why little Eddie Munster is a werewolf. We get an introduction to that brother, the younger brother of Lily Munster. Now this is very important because he makes his appearance, his quick appearance, but his appearance nonetheless. And we know a little bit about him and his background. His name is Lester Dracula, interestingly enough. He's, as I mentioned, Lily's younger brother and of course Grandpa's son. Now Grandpa calls him a bum. Well, this is because, of course, Herman once loaned him $5,000 for a scheme of Lester, but he actually got his money back eventually. There was a little bit of tension within the family and so forth. Lily has also been kind of skeptical of him, saying that she hasn't heard from him since the last time he went bankrupt. So they're kind of alluding to him having financial issues, which is kind of funny because this is something very typical in many TV shows. There's the uncle who's the troubled one, and this is him, this is Lester. But when he makes his appearance, you're very surprised to notice that he is a werewolf. And you'd be surprised and be like, whoa, I didn't think that he would even look like a werewolf. Well, think about it. His father's grandpa. The only one we don't really know about is his mother. That is, she's referred to as grandma, but that's about it. She's deceased, only mentioned very, very briefly during the course of the series, but we have to assume that there are some werewolf genes in grandma. And if grandma is deceased, well, maybe she caught the silver bullet. Who knows? We're going into too much speculation, but the point is, for a fact, we know that Lester Dracula has werewolf genes. And since he is Eddie's uncle, well, then that's very simple to explain. That's where Eddie got most of his werewolf genes. Now I know most of you will say, well, hey, how come he doesn't look more like his father versus his uncle? Well, actually, it's pretty funny. It's kind of a random fact, but I look a lot like one of my uncles, one of my 6 uncles on my mother's side. Pretty interesting little fact, so that's not out of the realm of possibility. But let me add this another curveball to you, and that is going back to Herman Munster. Now, of course, we know Eddie's a bit vampiric, so he gets that from his mom, but what does he get from Herman? Well, remember what the Frankenstein monster truly is. He is pieced together from many other different humans, a lot of criminals and so forth. He's kind of dug up and pieced together. Who's to say that a lot of these pieces aren't werewolf? In fact, that would actually be logical because from what we see, Eddie Munster's probably, what, 80 to 90% werewolf, maybe 10% vampire, and it would all make sense. So as always, as fans of the show, let me know if you've seen this episode, Herman's Rival, and let me know what you think, if you remembered Lester Dracula's appearance on the show, and if you ever connected these dots. I think it's really cool to be able to do this, connect these dots for you, tell you about these really cool, fun theories that make the show a little bit more lovable, in my opinion. We'll see you next time, guys and gals. Don't forget to always stay positive, always better yourself, and most importantly, be hopeful. Thank you so much, especially to my Diamond tier patrons, Gary Nettle, Lori K, Yasmin Gomez, Citizen Kane 359, Paul, Ricky, and David Davenport. If you want to be listed in the credits here and get many exclusive items, be sure to check the link down below for Patreon.